The Premier Menuet, First Minuet, is a neoclassical piano piece by Erik Satie. Written in June 1920, it was his last composition for solo piano. It was published by Les Éditions de la Sirène in 1921. The piece was inspired by the minuet, a stately dance popular in the 17th and 18th centuries. In 1909, during his period at the Scuola Canto Rome, Satie produced a handful of unpublished minuet exercises with offbeat titles such as Le Prisonnier Massad, The Sullen Prisoner, and Le Grand Singe, The Ape. When he returned to the form a decade later, he studied Mozart minuets in preparation. The finished work bears the outward trappings of its classical antecedents, 3/4 time in ABA structure, with the B section imitating a trio, though it avoids traditional development and is subjected to Satie's characteristic unexpected harmonic progressions. Unlike his previous neoclassical keyboard work, the Sonatine Bureaucratique, 1917, there are no elements of pastiche or parody in the Minuet. Instead, it reflects the sober, abstract style of his 1919 nocturnes. The Premier Menuet was premiered by Marcel Meyer in Paris on January 17, 1922, on a program that also featured the Genopetti No. 1, Sonatine Bureaucratique, Part 1 of Socrate, and works by Bird, Monteverdi, Bach, Rameau, Couperin, Domenico Scarlatti, Pergolesi, Gluck, and Mozart. The occasion was the first of 3 concerts that month in which Meyer presented Satie's music in historical contexts, from the early clavecin masters to the contemporary avant-garde. In his introductory talk for the first program, Satie recited a list of the other composers' ages. Bird and Rameau died in the grip of old age. They were 81 years old, each, of course, before noting that he wrote his minuet while I was still quite young, 54 years old. It is dedicated to Claude Dubosc, 1897 to 1938, one of many young French composers Satie encouraged during and after World War I. He was a former student of the Scuola Canto Rome and specialized in religious music. The Premier Menuet has been mentioned along with Socrate in the Nocturnes as representing a short-lived phase in Satie's output, 1918 to 1920, that owed nothing at all to humor, to which may be added the song Elegy, in memory of Debussy, from his Four Petites Melodies, 1920. As its title suggests, there is no evidence Satie intended it as a conscious farewell to piano music, his primary medium for most of his creative life. His last years were occupied mainly with theater music in a more popular satirical vein, though he continued to pursue the objective musical language developed in these works. Pianist Aldo Ciccolini recorded the Menuet twice, and there are notable recordings by Jean-Joel Barbier, Olaf Hogier, Stefan Schleiermacher, Jean-Yves Thibaudet, and Billy Eide. In 2007, Michel Rondeau published a chamber arrangement for flute, oboe, clarinet, bassoon, and horn.